Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you. I have a guest today. It's like no other guest, more than a guest. I hope she becomes a regular to be on with me because she's got so much to share and whatnot. I want you to meet my wife, Debbie. Say hi, babe.
Oh, hi. This is all new for me.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
Yes.
We'll have fun. It's new to me, too. So none of us are pros at any of this kind of stuff.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why we call it unscripted. I actually asked you today earlier, probably 2 hours ago. I said, well, what do you think we should talk about? And she said, I don't want to know. It's called unscripted. We just want to let it come as it needs to come, because we want to try to do something, share some of our lives with people and things that have gone on in our lives. What did we just celebrate?
Our anniversary, it was 54 years, but I've been in love with you for 59.
And I've been in love with you for 59 years too.
And the most amazing thing is, you just sent me a song for my anniversary, our anniversary, but you sent me this song, which it was incredible. And it is thanking God for you. You were thanking God for me. And it said there had to be an undercover angel. And I thought that is so true. God was working in our lives because I was only 12, sixth grade, and you were 14.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on a youth outing to this ski mountain an hour or so away. So there was a bus ride. There were 2 buses, and the Lord put us on the same bus. I'd never seen Rick at church before. I don't know that he'd ever seen me before, although we'd been going there for years. And so on this bus that God put us both on, I fell in love as he was throwing oranges at me.
Well, they were orange peels. They were orange peels, not orangers.
Well, orange peel oranges. But you know what, 14-year-old boy, that's kind of what they do.
I didn't slug you, at least.
But that was the beginning. And we both say how much we knew. I mean, this is a God thing, because at 12 years old, you're not even looking for a boyfriend at 12 years old. And God gave me you. He orchestrated that bus ride before we even had an idea of what was going to pursue.
Mm-hmm. I believe that too. I believe that. I fell in love with you.
That's just a real day experience to realize our steps are orchestrated of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Even our young children, our young grandchildren, their steps are before they're making major decisions in life, they're being orchestrated by the Lord. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that he did that. He's in our life, and that we both loved Jesus from early ages. And as angel, an undercover angel. Love that song.
It had to be an undercover angel, because there was nothing angelic about me in those years.
You were something else.
Yeah. Well, good girls are always attracted to the renegades and the outlaws, you know.
You were a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I met your brother that day too.
Yes, you did. Yes,
he was on the same bus.
Yeah. We were tag teaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I fell in love with you that day too. That was the beginning.
12 and 14 years old. Rick always says, what kind of parents allow their daughter to... We didn't date. but they knew that I was in love with you. I couldn't date till I was 16. And on my 16th birthday, we were engaged.
Yeah.
And so, but we were at church all the time. We had church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and then we had youth group Thursday night.
Yeah.
So that's how we built our relationship, was at church with other friends, and we're still friends with many of them today.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
I had one of our friends who was in our wedding comment on Facebook, "You and Rick were just meant for each other." And I said, well, if anybody knows, you knew, because you go way back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But you were saying that I say, what parent was in their right mind to let their daughter at 17 marry a 19-year-old crazy man? What was wrong with your parents?
My mom said she knew she couldn't stop me. And she finally just said, all I request is that you graduate from high school. And so I graduated early and we got married.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
awesome.
were 2 years ahead, but we were responsible for our age. You worked for 2 years, still lived at home, saved your money. I started working at 15 in the summers, going to work with my dad, and then after I was able to drive, working. And so we started at an early age because we wanted to get married. So we started saving while we were still at home. And by the time we got married, we had paid for our furniture, our washer and our dryer, our refrigerator, all the things that we needed, even though we were just 17 and 19. So it was definitely the Lord.
Yeah. That Christmas saving account.
Oh, gosh.
That you were in charge of, not me.
It was only $25 a month.
Can you imagine?
But by the end of the year, it was a lot of money to us for Christmas.
Yeah. It was. And where did you shop in those early years for your dresses and stuff?
I didn't go shopping very often. But so when I did go shopping, it was when I was doing my grocery shopping at Lucky Supermarket. They had a little clothing area. And
you bought your dresses there?
I think I brought more like some tops and pants. I did get some dresses at, it used to be a department store called Weinstock's.
That's right. Yeah. Well, what's your favorite shopping place now?
Nordstrom.
Yes, it is. I know it is. That's a kind of an outing for us to go to dinner and go to Nordstrom's and go shopping and so forth.
And you're so good to go with me whenever I ask.
I love to be with you, even if I'm just sitting in a chair.
He's happy to go as long as there's a chair.
Yes, that is all you retailers, you should know this for certain. If you just have a chair in your retail shop, the husbands will gladly go with their wife. We shop a little bit different. I've never been so tired with that slow walk. It's that slow walk. You know, I go in and get out, but you shop. Mm-hmm. I buy, you shop. So there is a difference, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are different.
Yes, we are different. But differences attract positive and negatives.
Well, because you complete each other. God knows that.
Yeah.
My weaknesses are your strengths and vice versa.
Yes, that's true.
So when God puts a man and a woman together, a lot of times he's completing them and making you whole. Mm-hmm. But that's also what can bring friction.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm a person that wants everything in order and everything in its place. And Rick doesn't really care.
I can't find anything. I can't find anything else. And I go, Debbie, where's this? Where's that? And she goes, well, I put it away. Well, I put it away too, but my put away is a different put away than where your put away is. So,
but what happens when you can't find something?
I know. I know. I just hate to admit it.
He'll look for something and he'll ask me, I'll say, I have nothing to do with it. I didn't touch it. well, I know you put it away somewhere. And then he'll come back out sheepishly. Well, I found it in my drawer in the closet. It's our joke.
It is. We joke with each other about that. That's fun. What do you think about having kids when we'd been married for 2 years and then a little bit more than 2 years.
Mm.
And then Michael came onto the scene. And Michael now is 50 years old.
He's older than 50.
How old is he?
He is
He's
51.
He just
No, he'll be 52 next January.
I thought last year was 50.
He was 51 in January.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
All these years go by quicker and quicker all the time.
Do you know that we're getting older?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
To your question, I am glad we had our children young because we were able to do and still do a lot of things with them,
Mm-hmm.
and now with our grandchildren. So for that reason, I am very glad. The hard part was we were still growing up ourselves as we were learning to be parents. And in our generation, the husbands, fathers, it was kind of the thing. They went to work, put the food on the table, and the woman took care of the kids.
Yeah.
And because I was so sick in pregnancies, that's why we only have 2 children, I couldn't handle having any more with the sickness and taking care of the 2 because you weren't able to help.
Well, I was able to help, but I didn't help.
Well, not really, because you had to go to work.
I know that. But
if you didn't work, you didn't get paid. You got paid by the hour. So if
I know, but there's
you stayed home, it would have been a problem.
You can't let me off that easy because if I wanted to, I could have. To this date, I have never changed a diaper.
No, well,
I don't think
no,
I ever.
you changed one. You just in those days, our kids had cloth diapers, and so when they had a dirty diaper, he just left it in the toilet for me to clean when I got home.
Oh my gosh, that's gory. That's terrible.
Those days are gone, though. There's Pampers now, so.
In fact, you left me home one time with the kids. And I'll bet you hadn't walked out the door very long. And all of a sudden, one of the kids started throwing up. And then had diarrhea. And then Amy likewise, and then me likewise. All 3 of us were sick.
And I was out of the country.
And you were out of the country, that's right. And I was so clueless. I just gathered the sheets up with all the chunkies and everything else in them, and I just put them in the washing machine and turned the washing machine on. I didn't even know that I knew how to turn the washing machine on, to be honest with you.
You were able to figure it out.
But I figured it out. And I cleaned them up, I think, and got them back into their respective beds. And then I went back downstairs to do something. I can't remember what it was, but there's soap suds coming all over the place, coming out of the laundry room and whatnot. All those chunkies had plugged up all the holes in the washing machine. I had such a gigantic mess. So I think I told you you're never going away again, or you have to have someone else.
But you did survive.
I did survive. Yes, I did. What about our growing up years? Because when we've talked before, we've talked about you can either grow together or you can grow apart. Mm-hmm. How is it that you think that in our lives, we had rocky roads.
Mm-hmm.
We
wasn't all glorious.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't complain about you, but I know that I had a lot to complain about and to work through stuff and whatnot myself. But how would you describe that we were able to grow together instead of growing apart?
It is the Lord. And even when you don't know it, it is the Lord. I've always, ever since I can remember, I've loved the Lord. I've loved to pray. As a teenager, I went to prayer meetings. We had all-night prayer meetings at our home. The Lord has really been there in our lives. But in looking back, what I know today is so much more than what I knew then. But still, God was working in our lives, growing us together in spite of the difficulties, in spite of the misunderstandings, in spite of it. There were times you didn't like me and I didn't like you. But you just get through those. You don't give up. That's one of the things I tell young couples. You're going to have some bumpy roads, in your marriages. Or some people maybe don't, but most people I know have
honest people do.
Challenges, because you're two different people living together, raised in two different homes, two different personalities. And so you're going to have it's not going to all be the Cinderella story. You're going to have some bumpy roads. And if you don't determine in your mind before those bumpy roads come, I'm in this I'm not ever, there's no such word as the D word. We're together for life, no matter what. It's a covenant you make when you get married to the Lord. It's not just you and I, but it's to the Lord. And if you will honor that, even when it's hard, even when you don't even feel like you have the emotions to do it, you get through it. If I go to bed and just cry, but I'd cry out to the Lord. And, He's so faithful. And then what He does with that is He grows you together. That's how we did not grow apart. Because through everything, the Lord was my source. The Lord was my guide. The Lord was the one who I wanted to please more than anything. And I made a covenant with Him that I would marry you and live and be your wife all the days of my life, as long as we were both alive.
Now, did you think when you were making that, and I remember that. I don't remember our vows, our vows to each other. I don't remember what exactly.
Do you remember writing the vows?
Yes, I do.
We said our own, memorized them, and you were so afraid you'd forget them.
Oh gosh, how I ever got talked into that I was going to say these vows from memory is why.
You did good.
Well, I had them on a piece of paper. You remember I had them on a piece of paper, and I had them had it on the palm of my hand. And I was so nervous and so sweaty and whatnot that when I opened my hand, the ink had kind of dissolved into it was just, smeared. I didn't remember.
You must have remembered.
I must have remembered. Yeah. But how cognizant do you think you really were about what you were saying?
It's a heart issue. My heart was to do what was right before my God and my Savior. What was right? So, I was in love. When you're getting married, you're not thinking about the hard times. You're not thinking about that.
That's why I'm asking you that.
But they come, and it was a covenant I made to you and to the Lord, and my heart has always been to do the right thing.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't matter what you're feeling, or the whole thing with the husband and wife can be, well, you're right, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter who's right and wrong.
Yeah. I remember talking with, I heard somebody who was an infamous marriage counselor and whatnot, and he would do, the counseling before you get married and that kind of stuff. And he was talking about how before he would have 3 counseling sessions with one with the man and one with the woman, and the third one was with the 2 of them together and so forth. And he said, now he only has 1. He said, my counseling is very short. And he goes, I know if they're ready to get married, if they're ready to be married together forever.
I know what you're going to say.
And whoever was interviewing him says, well, what is that? What is that? Tell me this deep, dark secret that you have, And the guy says, I just asked them each this question. Are you ready to die to yourself? Because that's what's required. It's not a 50-50 deal. Mm-mm. It's 100% you giving 100%.
It's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair. But that's something that I have found later in life. Instead of me being selfish, I don't know anybody more selfish than me, especially those years. But those early years, I should say. But when I tripped onto that secret of serving you, I found out I can't out-serve you. If I want to serve you, and if I want to love you well, and if I want to do for you, etc., all of a sudden there's this competition that comes up. You want to do more for me. I want to do more for you. It's not how little can I did my 50%, now I expect 50 back. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But it's that giving of yourself to your spouse, to your wife, or to your husband. And I believe there's something in that it goes to our surrender to Christ too. Mm-hmm. I give myself to Him 100%. And then I find out what happens in my life. He's given me more than I can ever expect, more than I would ever expect.
Well, it's easy those early years, especially as you're getting married and all the wonderful things that happen around a wedding. It's easy to want to give 100%.
For
at
you.
That time. But then when you're not acting as nice as you are on your wedding day.
Yeah.
And
it's called living together.
Yeah. And you say something that hurts, and all of a sudden you're in this heated argument. Okay. Now will you give 100% in the middle of that?
Yeah.
No, you really just want to walk out.
Yeah.
I had a really super good friend. She was as close to me. She's closer to me than even any of my sister's family. And she's in heaven now, but we used to tease each other. And I would tell her, I'd say, okay, if I ever call you and say I'm calling a taxi, you know what that means. That means I'm leaving. Well, I never did it, but it was our way of saying, okay, pray for me. I'm not doing really good right now. I need the Lord to help me right now. I never had to do it, thankfully, but that was just kind of our thing between each other.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time for this one.
That goes fast.
But it's been fun sharing those early years. There's so many stories of those early years that are crazy, and not crazy on your side, that's for sure. You're the steady rock, babe. You're the level-minded one. I'm the up and down, and I don't think I'm moody, and then you point out me being moody, so I guess I'm plenty moody from time to time. But honey, I want to say it publicly. I love you. And I never thought I could love you more than yesterday. But I love you more today.
Thank you.
I love you more today.
Thank you. I love you too. You know
I love
that.
you.